Hey, shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect, those in the gospel brother from the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit as I was meditating on some things. And it was a video that the brothers had showed in a group meet about the woman being subservient to her husband, and it got like a lot of kickback on Twitter and other social platforms. And you read particular comments on what they were saying about this woman, about how that's stupid. Why would you sit up here and take orders and be subjected when you can get the bag? Look, man, one thing about our people, Jake is wise to do evil, like the scriptures say, to do good. They have no knowledge, but they're wise to do evil. Jake is always looking at the surface of things. Okay, like Apostle Tahar always made this statement. He made a comment a while back. He said, one thing about Jake is Jake go for the outward appearance and they don't ever investigate. Okay, he said one thing about a Jake, they go buy a vehicle. Vehicle looks good and they will buy it off the cosmetics of it. But internally looking into the engine for any damage, water damage, any transmission slips, any leaks, any particular carbon issues or whatever. He said Jake won't do the research. They just buy it because it looked good. So this whole way of feminism and this westernized culture, Jake has bought into the paradigm of this culture, which is nothing but destructive, man. You know, and I'm just reading stuff and I'm going through comments. I'm like, wow, these people are delusional. You know what I'm saying? Because they really believe that this way of living is the way. Jake never considered about how we lived in an ancient world. Jake never considered that maybe it was a different way. Jake never considered that outside of this westernized culture that they do things differently. And the fact that the westernized culture does not work anywhere outside of the westernized societies. Jake don't question that and ask, why doesn't this work? What's the problem with it? Definitely the women, they don't see a problem with it. They don't even question it. They just take it up. Well, you know, this is our culture. Let's take it and run with it because it makes us feel good. Because it adheres to their flesh and it caters to their flesh. So they can have an excuse to be wicked. You know, like this box of feminism, you can't take this feminism stuff and put it into a proverbial box where it doesn't fit. This is not natural. Okay, the way that people are living their lives here in America, France, Australia, the UK, that's not natural way of living. In fact, the world shuns the way that you people live. And this is the reason why it tells you in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, that the nations were mad because they drunk of the wine of our fornication. They're mad because Esau is pushing his way of life on different cultures. Okay? Primary example, right? That young lady from Houston. What did she do? She went down to Dubai and she bought the whole black culture, which black culture is death, man. Black culture isn't no culture. I don't give a damn how much you want to big it up. There's no culture in black culture. Black means death. Okay, but basically she bought the hood economics to Dubai and they wasn't having that. You see what I'm saying? Because you people in America, you think you're free to do whatever you want to do. No, you're going to mess around and find out real quick, taking that perverse behavior to different nations. And that's the oppressive aspect of it because Jake doesn't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? They never questioned whether the ways of America has benefited them. But because it looks good, because it feels good, because you have the ability to eat what you want to eat and say what you want to say and behave how you want to behave, they take that as a form of free. And that's not freedom. That's actually slavery. When you're able to do what you want to do to destroy yourself, you have but one path, and that's destruction. You see, in ancient world, right? You had polygamy, right? Ancient world, men ruled the houses. Now, when you talk to people about that, they say, well, that's the way they did it in the ancient world. But have you ever questioned it? Did it work or not? Have you ever thought about it? Maybe that the society you living in, maybe the reason why they don't do things that way is because they want to keep you asleep. But see, that comes with the renewing of mind and the change of mindset, which is ultimate form of repentance, which is why the Lord is going to take out the 2/3 because they're not going to be in a repenting mindset. Because repentance means to look back and be sorrowful for. And Jake is not in that spirit because they're not willing to wash all the brainwashing away and learn the true ways of the Heavenly Father and what He's destined for the planet Earth. So I got 2 scriptures, nothing too long. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7. And this whole chapter is good, man. Okay. This whole chapter really deals with oppression, but I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, a good name is better than precious ointment, and a day of death than a day of one's birth. Okay. And when you look at the way that this world has become, literally it's a curse to bring a kid into the world. Okay. Like they say, all children are blessings from the Most High. I mean, in a righteous world, yeah. But in this world, no. Okay. Because it tells us in Jeremiah the 16th chapter, we're not supposed to have sons and daughters in this place because of the pollution. But if we've known what we've known, if I've known this 12 years ago, I've never would have, and I say this oftentimes, I never would suffer to bring my child in a godforsaken world like this. You know what I'm saying? For her state of mind, her state of being, and overall my state of being. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even want to go through putting them through the court systems and separating with the mother. Man, that's already traumatic enough. But oftentimes we go through life and we repeat these destructive cycles to the point it's damning anyway. That's why I never had another kid here, because I refuse. Lord's will, I can avoid that. I don't want to make that I don't want to make that choice again here. It's just not probable. It's not profitable, at least to my situation. Some brothers can get away with it, but I wouldn't recommend any brother just bringing kids in the world if they have some type of control over it. But we do know that everything is through the Spirit, and the Lord have to have a certain amount of spirits on the planet Earth to be delivered or destroyed. Because certain brothers gonna have kids, babies, just so the babies could get beamed up. You know what I'm saying? And that's a heavy thing, because if your baby gets beamed up on his side, then obviously, it's through your works. But then again, that could have been a righteous spirit too in the ancient world. You never know how the Lord does it. But it says it is better to go to the house of mourning than up to the house of feasting. And that's the point. Jake is constantly in the house of feasting. Like if you told Jake that they can party, which Jake do it anyway, but if you told Jake, look, party 7 days a week, drink till your heart is merry and turn up, they will literally do that. Okay, because one thing I know about our people, they're highly engulfed in surfeiting. With surfeiting goes into drunkenness. You see, they're drunk off the philosophies of Babylon the Great. They drunk off the philosophies of this culture. They drunk off the philosophies of this alphabet community. Jake is drunk off all the poisons that this man has conjured up in the Kool-Aid, man. And Jake don't even consider. That's why the Lord said in Isaiah, why should I stricken you anymore? He would do nothing but revolt more and more. Okay? And it says here, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Right? Because when you're in a constant mindset of feasting, which don't get it twisted, we love having a good time. Shit, me most, I love kicking it. I love having a good time. But you got play time, and then you have time that you kick it. Right now, we in a time we got to do the work of the Lord. Lord lets us get out and play a little bit, then cool, I'm with it. But overall, Jake, their priorities are in the wrong place. Like today is Friday. First thing on a woman's mind, I want to go to the club. I want to do this. Like, I seen a video of this woman, man. She was cursing out the baby's father. Because you're like, man, I want to go to the club. I want to travel with my friends. I can't ever do that because I'm always at home watching the kid. The dude like, what do you mean? That's your job. You have a kid. You ain't supposed to be out there with your homegirls going to clubs and turning up. No, your job is to take care of my kid. That's what you're supposed to get pleasure out of. But women, they have been told that the traditional role of being a housewife is weak, is limitless, okay, has no profit, and is slavery. And they bought into that based on the deception Esau has put upon them by giving them jobs, giving them the so-called bag, which you don't even understand money in its less severe. You don't even understand money in its basic form, in its basis of forms. Talking about getting the bag. Right. He's giving them jobs, giving them careers, he's giving them leisure, he's giving them liberation. Okay, to go out there and act independently when they're not. You see, so this is all taints the mindset of you being in your right mind. So therefore, you like, well, look, I don't want to be a housewife. I don't want to just take care of you. We got to take care of 50-50. No, the man technically don't even have to be there for real. For the first 12 years of a kid's life, the man really don't have no role in that outside of disciplinary action. The mother is the first teacher. Usually the father takes over when the son is 12. Okay? If you have a little girl, the man is active in her life as far as making sure she's on the right path and responsible for finding her a righteous man. That's it. He ain't supposed to be there changing diapers and putting the pacifier and throwing it in the air. Oh, baby, I love you. And now it's not all for a man to play with his kids and have fun with his children. No, there's nothing wrong with that. We've been accustomed to that. You know, Jake, we love our kids. But overall, man, in the ancient world, man, he wasn't taking his daughters on walks in the park, man. He was out fucking fighting wars and bringing back substance and making a legacy. He probably was starting another family somewhere while she was at home taking care of the kids. But they were taken care of. You all right? Not this simple mindset, man. You got this. You look at Al Bundy. Al Bundy was miserable, man. Okay, he had a rebellious wife. He had a whore daughter. He had a simp as a son. The only thing he can do is sit there and drink beer and have that dumb look on his face and argue with his family. That what do you call the name of that? That Al Bundy show, Love and Marriage or something like that. Yeah, it was a very funny show, but they showed you. He saw those in your face. He showed you that this culture, monogamy, it doesn't work. He threw it right in your face all the time. Look at The Simpsons, man. This guy Homer is stupid. He's dumb. His son is a straight demon. His daughter, man, she just a overbearing, depressed, want to be feminist. And Marge, she just don't know what she want to be. Homer is stupid, okay? And then Maggie, she's probably the only one in her right mind, just looking at everything go down. Same thing with Family Guy. Peter is just a straight imbecile. He's an idiot, you know? And the only person in the family that got the most sense is the dog, is Brian. You know what I'm saying? We show you the innocence of the spirits, man. You know, like the dog. The dog can't go off and sin. The dog just do what it's taught, you know, off instinct. And same thing with a baby. A baby is accustomed to sponging up everything in their life, man. And they show you that it don't work. While you jakes out here chasing a falsified dream, which is a nightmare, you got the elite sitting back laughing like, wow, we really pulled it off. It's sad, man. All right. But it says here, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. Okay. And you'll see brothers, you know, turning up, having a good time. But outside of the brotherhood or outside of your wives or your kids, you really don't have no rejoice in this place, man. You know, and those brothers that don't really have families or have stable families like that may be back and forth between your wife and by yourself. I mean, really, the only thing you can get pleasure out of is the truth, the brotherhood, and your little extracurricular things, man. Like when I'm going through that situation, what keeps me over outside of the brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, is me in some type of shape and really fixing on the whip, fixing on the cars, man. You know what I mean? That kind of keeps me in a level mindset because it occupies my mind, you know. But when I go around coworkers and stuff like that, I don't be happy to see these people. It's disgusting, you know. One of my coworkers told me last week, they was like, man, you just seem so serious all the time. Well, what am I not supposed to be serious? You know? What am I supposed to just be a clown all day? I don't have nothing to laugh and joke about with you people. I don't even agree with you people. I don't want to be around you. Your minds are all messed up and I don't want that contaminating my spirit. So yeah, I have like a shield up. I have to stay in a stoic mindset because if not, I will end up being contaminated and forgetting that you people are really the enemy. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be around y'all. You know? It's vexing to look at you people and how stupid and how docile and how duped you've been. And I'm sitting back in my mind, I'm like, wow, look at this. And these are Jakes, man. You know? But it says the house of the wise is in a house of mourning, right? We are in a house of mourning because we understand and we look forward to a better life, a better world when we can be happy. I long for the world when I can let my guard down and actually be happy and have something to smile about. But this place, no, I don't care for it. It's too dark. It's too depressing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I don't have a good time. I don't know how to enjoy myself. I'm not saying that. I know how to enjoy myself very well. I can blend in. But I'm at the point now, I don't really hide my emotions. I mean, I'm not overbearing with people and telling them how I feel about them at work. But I mean, it's a clear known factor that I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't agree with you people. And y'all should get something from my vibe. Like, yeah, they don't vibe with us. They don't. Yeah, and it's the reason we don't. You know what I'm saying? You people are the problem, period. And I don't want to be around problematic people. Same for you brothers. Okay? And Salakia for using me as an example, but this is all I really know now. So I don't want it to come off like I'm just speaking on myself. I hate having to do that, speaking on myself. I hate that for real. I'm just using it as an example. You know what I'm saying? But it says, it is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools, man. And Jake, they want to hear the song of fools all day, every day. Like I said, reading those threads on that video, they coming against that lady. Oh, well, she only saying that because he said he gonna take care of the bills. That ain't what the lady was saying. The fact that the scriptures say, if a man be rich or poor, if his heart is right with the Lord, then his wife should rejoice over him. Okay, even during the time of Elam, I believe the Elamite king, when Vashti was going off, he set a decree that every woman supposed to be in subjection to that man, whether he be rich or poor. So no matter if you ain't got $100 million to sit on. If I make sandwiches at Subway or I'm a barista at Starbucks, my wife's supposed to treat me with the same compassion and respect as if I was King Solomon. See, you got it twisted here. You think you dictate a man's worth of how much money and how much credibility he has on a worldly standard. Not looking at his spirit, not looking at where his mind is at, not looking at his spiritual works, but yet you would judge a man off the car he drive, off the type of money he getting. Here, you do eyelashes and talking about you getting the bag, which is no money in that business for all you so-called entrepreneur women that's into that aesthetic, whatever the aesthetic stuff, that eyelashes and wigs, that ain't no money in that, man. You know what I'm saying? You may make money here and there, but why you think all you women got to switch hustles, man? You try the CEO stuff, you try the real estate stuff, you try the online business scams, you try the smoothies, you try the selling eyelashes, and you realize that you hit a dead end. But the fact, because you can go out here and make your own connects, you call yourself a boss. Ain't no boss BITCHs that's doing eyelashes, man. All right, you be better off working a call center job, making more money than that. So don't get it twisted. But see, she'll judge you when she do eyelashes, but yet here you work like a city job or something. Not even a city job. Let's say if you worked, let's just say if you worked at Walmart, man, you work second shift doing boxes or something. She will feel, oh, you ain't worthy. Oh, you don't have the bag. Nah, you throw boxes, but yeah, you have fake eyelashes, wigs, and makeup. So make it make sense. You see? But that's the song of fools, man. All right? It says, for then a man to hear the song of fools. For as a crackling of thorn on the pot, so is the laughter of a fool. This is also vanity. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. And that's the problem. Esau done gave y'all these gifts that's destroying you, because the gifts he's giving you wasn't meant for you to prosper, but it was for you to further demoralize yourselves. Better is the thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. And our people are proud as hell. I want to look up the word oppression real quick, and it goes into the Hebrew word, what is it, Aishaqua, which means oppression, extortion, injury, oppression, extortion, gain by extortion. Okay, extortion, and you've been extorted out of your culture. Feminism. Let's look up extortion. It says extortion is a practice of obtaining a benefit through coercion, child support. In most jurisdictions, it is likely to constitute a criminal offense. Yeah, in most jurisdictions. America is extorting Israelites all day, every day. You've been extorted out of your culture, which is the ultimate thing. You can extort us out of money, but when you extort our culture, that's when it becomes an issue, because now you have the moral behavior like we're having now. Okay, it says the bulk of this article deals with such cases. Robbery is the simplest and most common form of extortion, although making unfounded threats in order to obtain an unfair business advantage is also a form of extortion. So basically, you don't pay your taxes, we gonna lock you up and take your property. You don't pay child support, we gonna take you to jail. That's extortion, man. Okay, but you jakes, you don't see it that way. Oh man, well, it's just put in order to take care of the kids. Man, shut your ass up. Just shut up, Jake. Please be quiet. Ecclesiastes 1, and I'm going to start at verses 17. It says, and I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this is also a vexation of spirit. For much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increases sorrow. That's why y'all sound like y'all mad. Well, we're in a sorrowful spirit, man. What do you expect? We understand now. We've been, Yahweh Shem Shai has opened up into us, man. He has opened up our minds to see through the matrix, man. You people knock us for not being asleep anymore. When in fact you take pleasure in slumber. All right. Isaiah 29:16. It says, surely the eternity of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work of him that made it, it says, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or should a thing framed of him that framed it say, he have no understanding? Right. Everything is upside down, man. You see? That's why it says Yahweh is going to turn it all around, man. All right, last precept here. Isaiah 25:7, it says, and he would destroy in his mountain the face of the covering cast of all people, and the veil that is spread out all the nations. That veil is this deception. Okay? Everybody is being blinded by this venom Esau is pushed around the world. Feminism, the alphabet community. Now they got laws protecting these people, man. They're protecting these people. Okay, that's that veil. That's that darkness. That's that wine. That veil goes into that wine, man. And it says, and he will swallow up death in victory, and the Lord Yahweh will wipe away tears from all faces, and rebuke of all his people should he take away from off the earth. The Lord has spoken it. So this scripture is powerful, because if you look at the fact that the Lord has to come and establish a kingdom, okay, by destroying this kingdom should show you that something is wrong with the way that things are being ran in society, for the Lord to have to come and set up a kingdom that's going to govern the earth. Okay, if this kingdom was so righteous, Yahweh Shem Shai wouldn't seek to destroy it, and it wouldn't be on a decline as rapidly as it is now, if it was just so righteous. And Jake don't take that into consideration, but whatever. All praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom and Baba Shalom.